Can we take a vote on who introduces the show?
All right, I'll go. Anyway, so
welcome to Uncle Bill and the Twins. I mean, okay. Anyway, what were you say? Kudos.
I have some kudos actually for Uncle Bill with his upset picks. He picked Southern to beat Gonzaga, which was this close to happening.
Almost happened.
And then he picked Harvard.
I did pick Harvard.
As opposed to Kyle, who picked Montana and Northwestern State.
Let's talk. I mean, but you had actually called. Remember the very first show? You had said this is going to be the craziest tournament.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you guys think? This has been. Have you seen a tournament like this, like in the past 5 years?
Well, it's been the most exciting tournament, that's for sure. I wouldn't say the level of play is the best.
Right.
But,
No, of course not. I mean,
the parity's there.
Right.
Exciting games, exciting finishes.
Right.
So I've been very entertained with the tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been some more. I think there's been some more exciting and some better ones as well. But you know, the Florida Gulf Coast or whatever their team. I love that. I mean, they had that one dude. He's dunking from everywhere.
That's all they do is dunk.
It's crazy.
It's almost like Phi Sigma Gemma.
Yeah, and I'm throwing my bracket out, and I want them to win. I don't care.
You do what?
I agree.
The odds are, the best are, when do they get put on probation? Who are these guys? Where do they come from? You know anything about
Yeah, I mean, the school was founded in 1997, so very recently. They've only been eligible for Division I postseason for 2 years.
Right.
And in their second year, they go to the Sweet 16, become the first 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16 in the history of the tournament.
And once again, who launches a team? Georgetown. And once again, it's Georgetown that launched. I mean, Georgetown has become like a regular coach launching, right? They're just launching careers.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, VCU and Shaka Smart, his run to the Final Four started with an upset at Georgetown.
Right.
Okay, you know, and you know, obviously he got the huge contract extension.
Right.
This year, now the hottest coach is going to be, you know, Andy Enfield
And his wife.
You know, the Florida Gulf Coast coach who was launched by Georgetown.
So now everybody, you know, as soon as they look at the brackets, they're going, oh, thank God, I'm in Georgetown. Who are the hot coaches? Who are the cold coaches?
Well, I think a cold coach has got to be John Thompson. You know,
He should be.
I don't know how he's not on the hot seat. You know, five
his dad, I think.
Oh yeah.
I guess out of respect
Papa
for
helps him out,
his
but
pops.
he's been. I mean, that's what 5 years in a row, high seed, and
4
just,
years in a row, yeah.
and losing in the second round. It's atrocious.
But you know what? He's getting, like you said, he's getting the white treatment. So that's kind of good. I mean, that's the step. Well, you know.
Give him a million chances. Losing the first round every year, who cares?
I can't. They're in the library, so you know.
But I think the hottest coach, I know they lost pretty badly to Michigan, but I still think it's Shaka Smart. You know, 3 straight years with VCU going to the NCAA tournament. You know, they reached the Final Four a couple years ago. He should take the job at UCLA. They just fired Hallen. He should take the job at UCLA.
Can I go?
I just hope he takes it. You know, because I know he has a lot of history with VCU, but if he doesn't take that job, you know, it's just one of those premier jobs that, you know.
But you know who will get the job? The guy in Florida. Well, I know. I mean, isn't that amazing? Now, well, we don't know what has happened yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll do the right thing and they'll hire Shaka Smart. But you just never know.
So we have another opening. You know, Minnesota. They fired Tubby Smith.
Wow.
You know, they reached the tournament. They won. They beat UCLA in the tournament this year, and then he gets the boot.
What's been your greatest moment so far in the tournament? So far.
Well, I mean, for me, it's got to be the Butler Marquette. I guess now they call it the third round game. I don't even second round, third round, because you know, I don't. But the reason that was the game went down to the wire.
Right.
It was a very well played game. Okay, both teams played well, clutch shots after clutch shots. Right. You know. Other games in the tournament, like for example the Gonzaga-Wichita State game, it was a close game, but it wasn't a very well-played game. There were a lot of mistakes, a lot of missed shots. But this game had clutch shots, big-time players. That's why it's my favorite game so far.
What about yours?
Well, I have a lot of favorite games. I think the Ohio State Aaron Craft hitting the 3 to win the game, and then both Gonzaga games are actually pretty spectacular. You know, coming down to the last minute. But
those weren't well-played games. They were close.
But how many well-played games? I mean, like you said, there have been a lot of well-played games. Right.
But that's why my example I think was the most fun for me, because both teams were executing. Right. You know, both teams were hitting clutch shots. You know, Gonzaga, first of all, like I said on the show last week, shouldn't have been a 1 seed. They almost become the first 1 seed to lose to a 16, and then they lose to Wichita State in the second round.
my big moment was Harvard, of course. Harvard beating who the hell they beat?
New Mexico.
Harvard beating New Mexico, because I mean I think that
Kyle picked them too. He picked.
I had them in New Mexico in the Elite Eight. One of my
well, go for the brother. I went for the brother. But maybe Hamburger will take the UCLA job. What do you think?
I think he'd be a great candidate.
It's going to be the highest coveted job, and all the coaches are going to be throwing their hat in, and we'll see what happens.
To me, Amaker's a good candidate. I think Shaka Smart, because he went to the Final Four, I think he's a little bit better candidate. Right. But maybe Amaker, Minnesota. I think that'd be a great fit.
But if you were Amaker, though, would you leave Cambridge? Would you leave Harvard?
Yes.
Why?
In a heartbeat, because I'm trying to play for national championships. I think the best way to do that is still in the big conferences, going to the Big Ten, which was the best conference this season.
Now let's look forward. What do you like going forward? I mean, this kind of gets sort of serious. I mean, you still have coastal Georgia, southern Florida, whatever they're called. Do you think that they're going to survive the week?
I think they have a chance. They have two guys who I think are potential NBA talents, and I think they can beat anybody. But I think Michigan has really shown its true colors. Tim Hardaway Jr. has skyrocketed with his points that he's been putting up, and I think that they're probably my team that I think is gonna go. And also, remember I picked Syracuse to win it all, and they're still there. They're playing your Indiana coming up this week.
I still like the Indiana Hoosiers to win it all, even though they got a scare with that game against Temple. They nearly blew that and busted everyone's bracket. I still like them a lot. I like Gulf Coast to beat Florida on Friday in their Sweet 16 matchup.
I think Florida's going to crush them.
Yeah. Well, Kyle just ruined it. Kyle's upsets. He's over.
Exactly. It means pick Florida because I'm picking Gulf Coast. But Gulf Coast, they beat Georgetown. Earlier in the season, they beat Miami, who's in the Sweet 16.
Right.
Okay, they beat San Diego State, obviously, in the next round. So they have some big wins. They've shown they can play and beat with these big-time schools. I think they're the hot team. They're going to go on kind of a George Mason run.
If you're a coach, you get put up on a lot of fire if a team like Florida Gulf Coast is beating you in your own state, because they're getting guys from Florida. They're probably not recruiting on a big scale, and that means that they're getting guys in your own hometown and getting them from your school.
But that's kind of the reason, actually exactly the reason I like Gulf Coast to win this game. There's no pressure on them at all. All the pressure's on Florida. They've been loose the whole tournament. I don't know if you guys saw them on the bench. After they hit threes, they started doing the chicken dance on the bench.
Let's see when they're down by about 15 if they're gonna be doing the chicken. They always talk about that you're loose and all. You're always loose until the water starts getting tighter. Now all of a sudden you gotta win. It's not cute anymore.
People are rooting for them. People think they can win. You're right.
My final thought is Jim Boeheim is a great coach. That's not the issue. Just like Jim Calhoun is a great coach. You have to separate that though from the NCAA and the rules. And am I a big NCAA guy fan? No, but if you belong to an organization has rules, you either play by the rules or you don't. And you also don't take all their money from TV. So all I'm saying is that, you play by the rules or you get out. And if I were Jim, at this particular point in time, if you win the national championship, whatever, this might be a good time to ride off into the sunset.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Anyway, this is Uncle Bill. I'm sorry, Uncle Bill, and we'll see you next week, right?
Next week.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. There we go. Very good.
Very good.